Do you trust your government? Do you comply with every order and mandate that they put into place, despite the fact that they don't even follow it themselves, that they are exempt from it? Are you being gaslit by them endlessly to fulfill whatever they desire, but they never seem to follow through? Does everything seem to be getting worse and worse and worse? That's what we're talking about in today's video, trust in the government. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I am a coach to help you live your best life and think outside the box. And we're talking about how the government never makes anything better. It always seems to make things worse, and why we should always question what anyone tells us. So enjoy the video. Do you trust your government, politicians, and health agencies? Do you listen to them, complying with their demands without question? The government is supposed to help people, right? But why does it seem like they always make things worse? People want to trust the politicians they voted for to run the country properly and have the people's best interests at heart. However, this just never seems to be the case. Every politician that comes into office does so with lies about how they would change things, bashing their opponent. But once they get into office, nothing changes. They don't live up to their promises, and often things get worse. Furthermore, people become more divided, being put up against one another, blaming each other, Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus conservative. This is something politicians create, yet people don't see it and may blindly trust their government that is causing the issues. If you are going up against your fellow human being and trust the politicians that give you orders but do not follow them, then it's time to start questioning the things your government says and the motives behind it. The government conducts psychological operations on its citizens to put you up against people that should be your friend. Divide and conquer is the strategy, since division creates weakness. So by creating conflict and division about important issues, they put people up against one another so they don't see the source of the conflict, which is the politicians and government. Trust in the government. A lot of people seem to trust the government. A lot of people have lost trust in the government recently. So when we really think about the government and its intervention with people, we have seen how they have lied to us, that they have gaslit us, that they have all these orders and rules and regulations, but they are completely exempt from it. It's like there's a completely different system for the elite, the politicians, despite the fact that those people have no real power whatsoever. It's a perceived power. It's only as much power as you give them, and you give them power by complying with their rules and regulations. Prior to 2020, many people trusted what their government said. However, when people saw that the government would use a crisis to instill fear and make laws that they didn't even follow, then people began to lose trust in their government and politicians. Trust in the government and politicians dropped significantly in 2020 and continues to drop as more and more people begin to question the laws and mandates that were put out. There are people who are still blaming one another for problems that the government caused. This is because the government continues to employ psychological operations on the citizens, gaslighting them into believing the way they want them to. This is done by intentionally lying or exaggerating about a certain event, which gets people angry at the opposition. Sometime later, they say the complete opposite of what they said before and denying ever having said it in the first place, which also creates the conflict for people who believe them. People seem to have such short-term memories that they forget what they were initially told and instead believe the new lie of the day. This is because they blindly trust the government. It's safe to say that whatever a politician says, the complete opposite is true. So the real solution is to begin to question what you're being told. Is what the government says really of your best interests? Do they really want to help you? Or are they trying to have control over you? If they want control over you, what is the reason for this? Perhaps they don't want you to be a free thinker, since they won't have a job and sense of control and power if you band together with your fellow free thinkers and do your own thing. So, get together and blame the real people, your politicians, and be a free independent thinker capable of so much more than what society and your government tells you. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. The whole purpose of politics and the government is to quite literally control the people, to manipulate them, to lie to them, and the number one key is to divide them. Because when we are all divided, we're not united anymore. And when we're not united, we're not able to combat the true enemy here, which is the politicians, which is the government itself, as opposed to the people that we're being put up against. So that is the number one thing that you have to realize, that your fellow human beings are not your enemy. The real problem is your government, your politicians giving you all these rules and then denying it and then lying to you. So be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find some amazing things. Also, become a member of $5 up and above to get early access to new content weeks and months before it is publicly available to anyone else. I would like to know what your thoughts are on this subject. Did you used to trust your government? You don't trust them anymore because of all the lies and manipulation? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm really curious to hear. So you all take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.